Start recording.
Hello, Mitchell. Yes,
Hello.
we're going to start recording.
Hello, Dave. Welcome to Sad Party.
Well, I was thinking about it the other day. We never say that. We never
say what the podcast
Yeah,
is.
we don't.
We do sometimes, but then sometimes we
But then I
don't.
think about it, and I'm like, anyone who's listening to us is already listening to us.
We're not getting new listeners anymore.
Yeah, so if we were doing...
We've got the suckers that came in at the start and they're just
if we were doing
riding the wave.
radio ads or something like that, then you go, welcome to Sad Party, or some crap
Do
like
the
that.
radio... What do they call it? A radio
Something like that, yeah.
restart. They just always say...
Oh, reset.
Reset.
Yeah.
Radio reset.
Yeah, so every 3 minutes, you're on Sad Party, it's 3 minutes to the hour, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
And that... Artie Pie in the sky with the traffic. It's fucked on the Point Cook Bend.
Point Cook man out in force. I promised you...
Point Cook man has crashed his truck upside down on the Point Cook Bend. Traffic is banked up back to Geelong.
And passers-by have said he's been shot in the face.
Oh, Jesus.
Well,
Point Cook tradie angry at being late for work has shot the man in the face and thrown a sausage roll at him.
What do you reckon the main trade of a Point Cook tradie would be?
Meth concreter or
meth cooker.
Concreter or a brickie?
Yeah, probably. Not that there's anything wrong with concreters or brickies.
No, but you know.
There is things wrong with Point Cooks. On the last podcast, I promised you I'd tell you about the stupid injuries my dad's had. You know, we were talking about...
Yes.
Seeing your dad get injuries.
Seeing your dad hurt. It sucks.
This is before I was born, but Dad...
It doesn't count.
Well, I'll just tell you, just to preface it, my dad crashed his motorbike.
Preface.
Yeah.
You said preface.
I'd say preface.
It's preface.
You don't injure your fist. It's face. F-A-C-E. So I'm going to preface it by... This is about... Geez, now that I think about it, this is around the time I was conceived, so this probably explains a lot. Dad crashed his motorbike in the Black Spur. He went off a cliff backwards. He hit the brakes, come into a corner, and the back stepped out, and he kind of high-sided backwards off a cliff on an XS 1100, like a big 250-kilo road bike.
Yeah.
And he landed on the ground, and the bike landed on his head, and it burst all the capillaries in his eyes. And Mum said the whites of Dad's eyes were black for like 6 months. Like he had completely black eyes because it hit his head and banged things up in his head that hard that all the whites of his eyes
People will go see a tattoo artist for that now.
Exactly. And when he did it, he bit his tongue lengthways, and his tongue was forked like a snake. So he had black eyes.
Full body modifications before it was cool.
Exactly. He did the full body mods before it was cool. And now that I think about it, that was around the time that I was conceived. So that means...
Well, there's no better aphrodisiac than some black eyes and a forked tongue.
With black eyes and a forked tongue...
How could your mum resist?
Yeah, Mum's just like, I better leave your sauce in me now. So... But, it's just messed up. But I remember just talking about injuries he's had since I've been around. I remember he crashed his dirt bike once, and he doesn't wear gloves, because I don't know if you've seen my dad's hand.
Yeah,
you met my dad.
Yeah.
His hands make mine look like
I've shook those fucking things.
Exactly. So he can't wear gloves because he can't get any gloves that fit. So
it's like those bird-eating tarantulas hanging off his arms.
It looks like if you got baseball mitts and trimmed the stitching in between the things. But he crashed his bike, and he knocked himself silly, and he tore open a big flap of meat on the back of his hand. It was probably about 5 mil thick. And my uncle goes... Chub, because everyone calls him Chub. Oh, Chub, look at your hand. And Dad looked at it, and it was about probably the size of a 20-cent piece on the back of his hand. It was still held on about 5 mil thick. He goes out and just bites it off and spits it on the ground. And still to this day, he's got a hollow in the back of his hand that he can actually put water in that and just sit there with the water in it. And on that same hand, he's also got a scar on his palm in the shape of the 240-volt power socket, because he... This is, again, before I was born, but my granddad is, you get old wogs and that sort of stuff that have got money, but they're extreme tight asses.
They don't fix anything. Yeah.
He had an extension lead, because he had a battery charger permanently mounted in his boat, because he wouldn't buy a new battery, because a new battery is too expensive. So he mounted the battery charger in the boat and put a power point in the boat. So there's a power point on the wall and a power point in the boat. So he made an extension lead that had the male plugs at both ends.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And when my dad was younger, he's scratching his hand. He's like 16 years old, scratching his hand with the extension lead plug, thinking that that's the male end. It's not plugged into anything. And it happened to be at the time when the granddad flicked it on, because he was going to plug it into the wall. And Dad thought he had that. and it electrocuted him, zapped him in the hand, and it burnt the 3 prongs into his hand all the way down to the bone. So it's still to this
What
day,
the
50 years
fuck?
later, he's got the 3-prong scar on his palm. Yeah, he's a bit special, that one. So yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, when you see your...
He's or the Bog, was it your uncle?
my
Your granddad.
My granddad, yeah.
Who's special, your dad or the granddad?
I actually think...
It's more...
I'm not going to lie,
granddad
I'm
special.
scared to trace our family tree because
It'll
I feel
go
like
up a tree.
there's going to be lots of crisscrossing, I think. I think there's a lot of crisscrossing in our family because have you met my cousins? They're like... they're all like 6'4", 6'6".
I think I met Wally.
Wally's my uncle, and then my cousins are like 6'4", 6'6". They're all
Huge.
monsters. Yeah, they're huge. And I'm the only one in the family that's small. And even though I have big hands, my uncle calls me baby hands because I've got the smallest hands out of all the boys in the family.
Tell club or whatever you run.
Exactly, yeah. So they're all behemoths, and my grandma, my dad used to always refer to her as being built like a fridge with a head because she's where all the size in our family comes from.
Like a Romanian weightlifter.
She had a job when they first moved to Australia. She had a job working at Holden, putting the disc brakes on the cars because my dad used to run the production line at Holden.
Yeah.
And
that went pretty well, didn't it?
yeah. And so a lot of the guys were pussing out because they couldn't hold the disc up in place and get the caliper on. So he got his mum a job there, and her job for years was putting the disc brakes on these cars. Like, yeah, so that's where all the wombatness comes from in our family.
Jesus.
Anyway, so you got anything good and exciting to tell me?
I mean, I'm gonna ride. I'm riding dirt this weekend.
Really?
Yes. Ballarat.
Riding dirt's scary.
Yeah,
I've
done it for a while.
never really ridden dirt.
I haven't ridden. I think the last time I rode dirt. Do you remember Roachy back in the day?
Yeah, I remember Roachy.
In Mumble?
Claw broke his leg there.
Those jumps were
So
so.
Claw, if you're listening, Roachy's Trails represent.
Yeah, that was so fun.
I'm going to message Claw right now and say Roachy's Trails. Anyway, so
I reckon I rode them when I was 18. Like that was the last time I rode, and I'm 29 now. So yeah, 11 years ago was the last time I rode dirt.
Jesus Christ.
So it's gonna be a bit of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well,
but I've painted Credence logos on my mod frame, so I'm good to go. So
yeah, I don't understand those references really.
Yeah, you're too old.
Yeah, I think so. If you said I painted Mad Matt on my frame, then I know what you're talking about. Yeah, so we need to watch some BMX videos, some old ones.
Yeah, definitely.
Not
well. You need to watch some new ones, and I need to watch some old ones. We need to do like.
Well, I see a lot of new ones because everything these days new is basically just web edits.
Well, no.
Although a Garrett Reynolds web edit is worth watching. That's a web edit that, even though I don't ride BMX much anymore, my brother always sends me links. If Alex Heam does a web edit or Garrett Reynolds does a web edit, he sends it to me because he knows I'll appreciate it.
Yeah. That Alex Heam guy is ridiculous.
Alex is amazing. I remember...
He's like a wizard.
I remember Pete telling me when Alex was like 12, 13 years old and he first got on Colony, Pete said to me, he goes, Alex Heam, you mark my words, will be the best rider in the world. And what do you know? He was pretty much the best rider in the world.
He's
bloody amazing.
He's not far off. He's still going, yeah.
It's just, I don't know, like Colony has such a kick-ass team, and they've always had, like, Clint, who owns Colony, Clint's always been one of the best people, and he's always had this... I remember when he first started Colony and was just starting to get the ball rolling, he even said at the time, he goes, I don't really care that much about people going in competitions. I don't really care that much about how good a rider people are. He goes, I just care as long as they're mates, like as long as they're one of my mates. And if I could be mates with them, then I'll have them on the team. And
that's the biggest thing with any sort of sponsorship. Like no one really...
Exactly,
like, it's even with like moto, like no one cares if you like no one gives a shit if you're running fourth in the VIX.
Yeah, exactly.
Like no one actually gives a shit. Like
exactly.
It's just if you're personable and you talk to people at the track, it makes people like
Well, see,
more interested. Like the same thing as if you talk to kids at the skate parks. Like, it's the same thing.
See, good mate of ours, Brent Brady, got bronze
how's that?
at Romaniacs. Oh, like I think he won the bronze class. Yeah, won the bronze class prologue at Romaniacs. Like that's awesome.
Ridiculous.
Like, Brent, you got to remember, up until recently, he was a jet skier.
Yeah, he was a jet skier who had like decided to ride mini bikes for a day and get the world record on a mini bike.
He rode moto back in the day. I remember must have been about the year 2000. He broke his femur really bad, like a big break.
Yeah.
And because I used to, when I was working at the motorbike shop in Dandenong, like 20 years ago, he was a customer there, and I knew him anyway because his dad and my dad were mates. And I remember he broke his leg, and I just didn't see him for a while. And then I'd bump into him, and he was riding jet skis, and He said to me at the time, he goes, "You and your brother would both do really good riding jet skis, but I don't recommend it because it sucks." Because riding jet skis sucks, but because it just hurts. You just He said
you're falling out. There's no. You're just jumping off waves.
He said
onto the ground.
Because your nose into the water. He said it's like doing a belly whacker off a 3rd-story houseboat over and over and over all day.
Yeah, and all you got is
exactly.
a life jacket to cop it in the face.
I love that he's just killing it on a dirt bike because he's so bloody determined. I remember when I first rode with him when he started riding off-road stuff.
Well, Kingo's over there with him as well, isn't he?
Yeah. I've ridden with Kingo. And when I first started riding with Brady, I was like, he was a bit sort of... This sounds like I'm sticking the knife in, but I'm not. He's awesome, but he was a bit sort of sketchy at first, only because he hadn't ridden hills. He'd been riding jet skis. He'd been used to flat ground. There's not many hills in the ocean.
No.
But then within about a minute and a half maybe, he's just awesome. And then just keeps getting better and better. So now I'm stoked for him.
That's insane. You cruise halfway across the world, just
so
to another country.
And got to remember, Then
he's got how long's the Romaniacs? 4 days?
Yeah, something
the actual
like that.
race. So that was just the prologue, but
that was just the prologue. That is one
Not
race.
just the prologue, that's a big deal.
The prologue is... The prologue is my favourite part.
Is that where they go through the streets and they've got all that fucked up shit?
You know the stuff I like riding. You can picture it. That's what I want to ride.
I saw a video of Kingo and he was doing it and it was raining and it's just wet, slippery, fucking death.
And it's funny because I've said it, I think I might have even said this on the podcast. I've said it a couple of times. I want to make Ninja Cross. I want to make Ninja Warrior stuff, but dirt bikes. Seriously, like the prologue course, but people go through and have screwed up obstacles people got to try and get through. I reckon it would be really fun.
And then can we do Cranbourne Ninja Cross where they steal your bike and you got to chase them?
Exactly. Oh, jeez. I just got a message from the wife. I've cooked up plenty of beef ragu with rice if you boys want some.
Delightful.
And she said, if you don't want that, there's also pumpkin soup that I've made. Well, she's a good wife.
Maybe
we should cancel the podcast and go eat meat. Nah, we won't. the meat will still be there.
Hopefully.
But, it's awesome. But I'm stoked for Brady. That's just good as. I'm so stoked that he did so well there because he deserves it. He bloody works his ass off. He's been training a lot and riding heaps and it's good.
Not drinking as much VBs.
I'm sure he's probably still smashing the VBs. Yeah, exactly. It's good. And it's funny, that someone who, he's a plumber. It's not like his full-time job is racing a motorbike or anything like that, but he's over on the other side of the world.
Just on holiday,
killing it. Yeah.
Good.
That's so good. But I'm hanging to ride with him when he gets back. I really want to ride my bike again. I keep looking at it and I'm like, I need to ride that shit.
So they're ready to go. It's in better than mine at the moment. So.
Yeah, it's a good bike. But I don't know, between... I think I'll just talk about things. I think I'll just talk about riding my BMX and I'll talk about fixing the motorbike. Yeah. What I really want to do on the motorbike, me and my brother have been talking about it, just go on free riding. I just really want to go for just free riding. I don't care about going for a proper trail ride. I want to just go exploring.
And find jumps.
Yeah, some of the backburned areas and stuff, find drop-offs, and it'd be good. Anyway, anything else exciting been happening?
Well,
I'm just going to check my notes and see if I've written anything down.
Yeah, because I kind of want to get a camera. A photo camera?
Photo camera?
Yeah, because I borrowed a few of the boys' ones over the weekend. I actually quite enjoy taking photos.
It is fun. I still.
But then I looked at getting one, and I was like, oh yeah, that's not too bad for a camera. And then the lenses are $2,000.
Realistically,
that's ludicrous.
You can shoot good photos with a phone these days. You've got a new phone. You can actually shoot pretty damn good photos with a phone.
Don't even want to fuck with a phone.
You know what's funny? A while ago, I actually found a clip-on fisheye lens for iPhones.
Yeah, I have one of them on my old phone.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It's called a depth lens. You just
Well, that's a depth lens. That lens there, that's what a proper Century depth lens is. That lens there is worth a fortune. They're $1,300 for that lens. So,
really?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And it's just
people can't see it because right now I'm pointing at it, but you can see you can get it so close and it's all fisheye. But that's anyone who skated or rode BMX in the 90s and 2000s either had that lens or wanted that lens. I've had that lens alone for I think 15 years. It's so good.
Yeah.
When I got this new camera, I made a point of getting one with the 37mm aperture so that lens would with it. Yeah, it's good. But shooting photos is fun. I remember I used to shoot photos a while ago, but that was back when it was just film cameras, and it was just so bloody expensive. But these days with digital, you can shoot 12 million photos and it doesn't matter. You just go,
you haven't got a stupid roll that you have to
That's exactly right,
careful.
yeah. Pretty sure my bro's got a Canon EOS 5D kicking around somewhere, so I should borrow it and shoot some photos. Because shooting photos is fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It's sick.
Yeah. And I think what's fun about it is not trying too hard, but learn the tech part of it. Like learn some of
Like all the settings and stuff.
f-stops and the apertures and things like that. But then just messing around and trying different things. Like not being too serious about it. Just play around, because you always get the best photos when good things are happening.
Yeah.
It's like, I remember when we were filming BMX, and we'd go out on a mission to film sometimes. I remember I went to Adelaide with my mate Nathan Saunders, and we were going to film for BMX stuff, and it rained the whole time. We're trying to film things and nothing worked and that sort of stuff. And we wasted like a whole weekend and got no clips at all.
Yeah.
But then the next weekend, we just bumped into each other incidentally, and we're just filming at Camberwell, and we got these awesome clips. He was doing like...
Speaking of Camberwell,
yeah,
I fucking rode Camberwell on the weekend.
really?
Yeah. So we did like, on Sunday we did Hillendale, then Camberwell, and then we went to, where we going the after? Oh, Knox.
Oh, yeah.
Knox, but the new
that's
Knox.
Good, Is the old Knox Park still there?
I think it is.
Yeah. But, it's...
Just.
But I remember when we went there and just filmed stuff incidentally, and we got some amazing clips, and it's just funny how it works like that.
Yeah.
But I think it's the same with photography. Like, yeah, good photographers can go out and go, I'm going to get a good shot, and then get a good shot, but I was never good at it. So
yeah, it's fun.
Things just work better when you're just having fun.
It's just cool, yeah. It's just like when you're sitting around shooting the shit or whatever, you can just fucking do something.
Exactly,
like when you had a ride and you're like, oh, I'm just cruising now, like, at least you got something to do.
Exactly. It's like you saw that stupid thing they did before with the bike where it spun it around. Holding up and spinning around. Like, that was just from messing around. We used to try and do things like that, messing around, and you'd like hop out onto the deck of the Mini, land the tail tap, and then spin the bike on its back wheel and catch it by the bars and try and hop back in. Stupid stuff like that. And I think the best control with motorbikes or with BMX comes from messing around. Like with moto, I remember when I started to learn a bit of control and balance on a dirt bike was when I grew up at my folks' house. They got a big backyard.
Yeah.
Me and my brother used to just lay car wheels on their side and just hop over them. You'd like bump jump off one and land in a mono, and then bump jump off the next one. Or you'd do a rolling stoppie, you'd boot it along, do a rolling stoppie and kick the back wheel out and land it on a car tyre. And stuff. You'd hit the deck 1,000 times, but that's the only way you learn stuff. Where like if you go out to a motocross track and you're just circulating, you'll get faster at making lines and that sort of stuff. But
you don't.
As far as little bits of control, you've got to stuff
so
around.
Important.
Yeah, I remember we learnt so much BMX stuff. Like out the front of my folks' joint when we were kids, there's the traffic islands on the street out the front. We learnt just about every BMX trick we know on those traffic islands, because it'd be like late at night and we couldn't go to the skate park. This is before having car licenses and stuff.
Yeah.
So we'd just go out the front, just ride the traffic islands up the front, and even off the front veranda there. I remember Pete learning hop tail whips off the front veranda and like hooking his back wheel on the pole as he's like gone to do a hop whip off the veranda and that sort of stuff. And like the hit pole go over the bars and like, but we just learnt everything there. It's just what you did. Like my first 180 was off that veranda, and then you go, all right, well now 180 off the veranda in another spot over the garden bed onto the lawn instead of just straight off it. And you just learn all these different things and
just messing around.
Yeah, it was just so much fun. But and the good thing is, like with my boys, like they're 6 and 4, and Max is riding BMX a fair bit now. Wes is starting to ride a little bit, but I'm like, I'll gladly build, like once Max is old enough to be bunny hopping and trying to do little grinds, I'll build a grind box and put it in this garage, like a little one, and we'll just have like a little half crank, hop up and do a Smith grind, and just practice things like that. And like, I'm happy to do that because I have fun doing that anyway, and I know that for the boys, messing around like that, not only is it heaps of fun, but that's where you learn stuff.
Dude, it's just, and also like that simple stuff is like stuff people don't even think about. Like if I go out to, just say if like I went out to Park 4 or the motocross track or whatever, and we're sitting like on the infield of the track or whatever, like a few of the boys or whoever's riding, I'll like ride up the back of a berm and do a fakie on my dirt bike. Like people are like blown away, and I'm like, dude, it's just like you just practice it a bit and then you can just do it.
It's funny. It's like how like you can ride really good. I never see clips of you circulating fast around a track because I don't really give a crap about it. But I know if someone films you doing a fakie on your dirt bike, you send it to me.
Because I'm like, you actually care.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I remember I sent a clip to you ages ago of trying to do like just a BMX style deck manual on my dirt bike. Like I was on like the corner of a dirt embankment kind of thing and just like popping out sort of monoing around and that sort of stuff.
That's so
because
sick.
I know I'll do something like that and it's fun doing it. I'm like, I reckon Mitch would like this. So it's just how it works. Like
I wouldn't I wouldn't like bother sending you a photo of me jumping something or anything, but if I'm doing like a deck manual or doing something, I'll like, yeah, down with that.
Exactly. And it's like, I remember when we were riding Aki's backyard track and I was messing around on his tabletop and I'm just like jumping onto the tabletop or jump up and land standing on the seat and mono across the deck of the tabletop and jump back onto the pegs.
Before Axel made it cool.
Exactly. And that's the thing, like, I've always done stuff like that. I can remember when I first got my bike license, that was the year 2000. I got my motorbike license and I had, in 2001, I got a WR250F and it was registered, but it wasn't roadworthy. It was all set up just for off-road stuff, but I was just riding around the streets because I'm from Cranbourne, and Cranbourne is
that's what you do.
southeastern suburbs version of Point Cook. But I remember, like, standing on the seat...
Cranbourne Ninja Cross.
Yeah, exactly. Standing on the seat doing monos for ages. Like, you just did that. Like, you mono, and four strokes is so easy to mono, and then, but you just go, all right, we'll learn it standing on the seat, and then just try different things. And that's, you know, I do those monos in circles and things like that. Like, I started learning, like, ride down a dead-end track and you want to try and turn around, you sort of hop the front wheel around. I'm like, I wonder if I can do a 360. And then once I do a mono 360, then I'm like, let's see if I can do 2 full spins. And I think I've done like, the most I've done is like 6 or 7 full spins on the back wheel and just loop out. But
and got dizzy and got it on the ground.
But like, I hit the deck hundreds of times doing that, but it's actually a handy skill for the sort of riding we do. It's handy to be able to do that. Like,
then instead of just like, you want to get off your bike and just yank it around or something.
You just hop the front around. But and the thing is, I remember this guy Michael, his name's Michael O'Connor, he was a gun road bike racer. He raced like World Superbikes and that sort of stuff. I remember him telling me a while ago, I was a kid when I rode with him. I was like 16. And he goes, you ride good and this sort of stuff. How come you didn't do this? I can't remember what it was. It was like monoing through something, but I did it standing up instead of sitting down. He goes, can you mono sitting down? I go, no, I prefer to mono standing up. He goes, well, you should practice mono and sitting down as well then, so you can do both. And it made me sort of think of like, if you've got a certain way that you do things, try it another way as well. Like I always do monos in circles to the left because I used to cover the rear brake with my right foot when I do it. But now I do it and I don't even cover the rear brake because I've got the balance to do it. So now I'm trying to do it opposite. Yeah. So I've got no chance of getting to the rear brake if I go to loop out. So I know it's going to hurt. But I'm like, well, at least then I know how to do it the opposite way. So
speaking of doing stuff opposite, I cannot, like, for the life of me, do anything opposite. Dude, I'm so bad.
It's good though. And it's the same with BMX. Like, do you remember, I don't know if he still rides, there was a guy named, I think his name was Danny Hickerson.
Oh, I never.
It's a BMXer. At one stage, it got... God, we're doing another one where we just talk about BMX. But that's fine. Stuff everyone... You know, like BMX and motorbike, I don't even know why you're watching this stupid thing anyway. But I think his name was Danny Hickerson, and he would... I think he didn't really have a natural way that he would spin, and he didn't have a natural stance for his feet.
Yeah.
So he'd spin to the right and be left foot forward, but then he'd spin to the left and be right foot forward, but he'd mix it up, because then he would then spin to the right, but be right foot forward, so then he can do a look back 3, and then he'd land from that, and he'd move his left foot forward and do like a turn down 3, but rotate in the same way. And I've often thought about it since then, like, it's too late now because I'm just old and fat and useless and I'm not going to learn.
Well, it's not too late, but it's such a good thing to be able to do.
But it's funny because Max is riding BMX and Wes will probably want to ride BMX too, and I'm like, I don't care about them being the best or anything, but I know how much more fun it is to be versatile with things. So
yeah, definitely.
I think I'd like to teach him, because Max is right foot forward. He's comfortable being right foot forward, and that's awesome. But I want to make a point of, like, when he does start jumping and things like that, and he's learning 180s or whatever, I go, try it opposite. Just try different things, because then you get the feel for it. Like, I can remember when I first learned opposite 180s, just as a fly out from a Mini. And then I was like, maybe you can do a look back in this, because the bike's already kicking that way. I could never do look backs good, but I could do a look back 180 fly out to fakie better than I could do a look back, because I can't jump for crap. But you're already in that motion. And I'm like, if I hadn't have tried opposite 180s, I never would have worked that out.
Yeah, so exactly.
It's just fun. Like, I think being versatile with everything too, like, geez, this is probably a far leap, but you talk about working different jobs. Like, the job you're doing now is completely different to the job you were doing when I met you.
Yeah.
Like you driving an excavator and doing earth moving and stuff, which is a bit different to working in a motorbike shop.
Not much. It's not much different.
You're just moving crap around.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly right.
Digging yourself deeper into a hole.
Yeah, just digging to try and hold it and bury myself.
But it's so funny. Like, I look at my father-in-law, Phil. Like, he's one of the best people on the planet. He's been a plumber since he could pretty much walk, because his dad was a plumber, and he'd help his dad do plumbing. Yeah, then he did a plumbing apprenticeship. Now he's a plumber, and he's in his 60s. He's not going to go from being a plumber now and go, oh, # learn to code. Like, just go get a job.
Yeah.
He's not going to go get a job in the computer industry.
So when there's robot plumbers, he's fucked.
Yeah. And it's like, I talked to my old man. He ran the production line at Holden for many, many years. But before that, he used to build boats. Like, he built fiberglass boats. So he built fiberglass boats from the age of about 12 or 13 to about probably mid-20s. Then started working on the production line.
He didn't go to uni?
No, he didn't go to uni. No, he was... I think he started doing fiberglass trimming and that sort of stuff because my granddad owned a boat building business. He started doing fiberglassing. My dad started doing fiberglassing when he was about 9. And but that's just...
Yeah, it's just what you did back then.
Log family, need to earn the money and that sort of stuff. It's like, your hands work, and you... By 9, he was probably already stronger than I am now, because my dad's a monster. My granddad would have been like, well, we've got to earn money, so grab a Stanley knife and start trimming these molds. Like, that's just what happened. So he did that. And so he was a boat builder for years, and then he worked on the production line at Holden. So doing the boat building...
That went well, didn't it?
Yeah, well, he was there for 20 years. But he did, or 15 years, but he did boat building, so he learnt about finesse and doing things really neat and that sort of stuff. Then worked on the production line, where they made a car every 42 seconds on the Holden production line. Yeah. So he learned about doing things efficiently. Then he was a tree lopper for years, so he learned about doing big, scary things and hanging out of like a travel tower 75 feet in the air. But
that sounds like my dream job.
But learned a lot of geometry and that sort of stuff because of like, that's right, because you're scared of heights. But then after that, he got his rigger's ticket and then worked as a rigger. But his experience tree lopping helped him with being a rigger, because when you're dropping a tree and there's a house there and a shed there, you need to know stuff. But a lot of people who are doing the riggers thing have only ever been riggers, so they've never done anything else. And me and the old man talk about versatility of doing different things. Like, for me, most stuff I've done has always been pretty nerdy. It's always been like spare parts and numbers and crap like that, and computers and that sort of stuff. But there was a time where I just had a big meltdown and needed change, and I was doing a bit of rigging, just slinging hooks around on a crane. I loved it. It was so good. This is not a slight on riggers, but I was able to just switch my brain off, and it was awesome. It was
switch your brain off and just lift real heavy shit.
Exactly, just
real heavy, dangerous shit.
Lift heavy things. But it was probably like, the pay was crap because I was just I was just a sling jockey. Like, didn't have any qualifications. I was just doing that, but I just needed a change. I did that for like 6 months. And it was awesome because I was able to just relax.
And working outside too, it makes such a difference.
And I was so wrecked by the end of the day every time. Like, you got the stupid pedometer on your phone that tells you how many steps you do. Like, I was doing Apple phones.
I think that counts the amount of pedophiles you walk past.
Yeah, it does, yeah. It's the pedo-ometer. But, like, I remember I'd get home and I'd look at it and go, oh, it says I did 20,000 steps today. And I'm like, and I lost like 10 kilos in 6 months because I've been busting my ass. But then I saw a job advertised, like my old job, the one around the corner from where you were working. And I'm like, oh, well, that's a lot more money. So I'll do that and go back to being a nerd again. But it was so good doing something different. And I think versatility is important, like doing different things. Like, I couldn't imagine anyone these days doing the same job for 40 or 50 years.
It's not this so different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because back in the day, that's sort of what you did. You just sort of got your job and then that's what you did.
I think it's different if you're a business owner. Like, my brother's a chippy and he runs his own crew and he runs his own business. It's a bit hard for him to change his job. Yeah, like he's not going to, like, he's nice and dainty. He might become a ballet dancer or something like that.
Might go work in the library.
But, like...
Can you imagine Pete working in the library?
Oh, that'd be so funny. But, like...
Shut up!
But what's funny is he's more intelligent than most people I know, but...
That's not hard, though.
Yeah, exactly. But doesn't want to... Like, he's happy doing that, and he earns really good money, and he busts his ass and that sort of stuff, and does a good job. And I'm like, that's different because he owns his own business. But I don't know. I guess it's probably different with trades. Like if you go to the effort of learning a trade, you're probably most likely to stick with it for a while.
Well, you'd say that, but then I'm a qualified diesel mechanic, and
I forgot that you were a diesel mechanic.
Yeah,
that's right. So before the motorbike shop, you were a diesel mechanic.
Yeah,
I actually forgot about that.
Well,
why don't you service your own bloody car?
In the next podcast, I'll tell you the story about my diesel mechanic apprenticeship.
That sounds good. So yeah, we'll have to do that.
How long have we been going for?
Long enough. Let's just stuff the quiz. Quiz is
Fuck the
stupid.
quiz. All right, no quiz this time.
Yeah, exactly.
Might do it next time.
Well, I actually have a more fun rant. You know what we should do? We should go inside and eat some meat.
Yeah, that'll do.
Hey, let's
do that.
some meat. All right. Well,
then we'll come back to this.
Do you want to do your
shit later?
jock shilling?
No.
Yeah.
pstheunderwear.com.au.
Yeah, so
2020 at the checkout.
Yeah, so you're going to
dick.
mention you get 25% off by using discount code Mitch2020.
And you can protect some dick.
Exactly. All right, well, we're going to go inside and eat some meat because it's better than talking to you guys.
Bye.